Hey everybody, it's Mark, DoctorDeadwax here, and it's time to do another recent Bona Finds. Tonight we're drinking Indie Ink, Black Pale Ale from Trafalgar Ales and Meads out of Oakville. 5% alcohol, 6.5%, or 650 milliliters is the size. It's okay. It's a little off. It's a IPA, very hoppy. It's a little bitter. It says it's best before July 13th, and it's after July 13th, a couple weeks after. So it's good. I never see this in a store. It sells out like every time it shows up. So even though it was a little old, I bought it just to try it. It's definitely got a strong kind of to it, and it's really it's got a big creamy head on it. I mean, for an IPA, it's pretty black. As you can see, it's pretty gassy. It's a nice beer. I recommend you find something a little fresher. So tonight, I got a stack of shit here. 23 albums. I don't think I'm going to get through them all. I think I'm just going to stop when I hit the 20-minute mark. That seems to be working lately. I could be here for a fucking hour. Nobody wants to watch me for 20 minutes, never mind an hour. So first up, Instant Funk. This is their debut album from 1979. Look at these guys. Just nobody could afford a shirt in the fucking 70s. Late 70s, shirts, no shirts anywhere. But this guy here, I especially enjoy his "Don't fuck with me, because I'll kill you, motherfucker" look on him. Look at him. He's a little crazy. This is a pretty good album. I got this for $2. This is on Sal Soul Records. And I'll show the label. And the copy's really clean. It's pressed by Sterling, I believe it was. Yeah, pressed by Sterling. So in the late 70s, the funk kind of went a little disco, and that's what I would say is the problem with this. It's actually really good, and it has some really great moments on it, and it has some weaker moments where it gets a little too disco-y. You know, everybody was wearing like the same costumes by this point. Of course, these guys' costumes didn't involve a shirt, just blue jeans and a hat. What is amazing on this, and look it up on YouTube, is Dark Vader, which is kind of like a parody of Darth Vader and Star Wars and funk themes. And anyways, it's actually really good. And there's some other really good songs on here, and there's some other weak songs. For $2, I'd still buy this again in a heartbeat for $2. It was just great fun. Next, something I just bought because I thought it would be a good trade copy for somebody. Ace Frehley, End of the Night. This is gold foil promo. This is like perfect near mint. It's on Atlantic. It's not a white label promo or anything. Again, I think this is Sterling in the Deadwax. Yeah, this is Sterling, handwritten Sterling instead of machine stamped, and it's DMMA, so it's Direct Metal Master. I didn't really listen to this. I put it on to make sure it plays nice and it plays dead quiet and clean, but Ace Frehley is not what I'm into. But I know there's lots of people who collect Kiss and lots of people who collect kind of hard rock metal. There's the back cover, and you know, it's not often you see something like this near mint, so I grabbed that just in case somebody might want to do a trade at some point. Same reason why I bought this. Kiss, look it up. This is promotional use only from the forthcoming album of the same name. Look it up. And this is on Mercury, and just your standard black label Mercury from the time. This is just a 12-inch single Nothing fancy, just the single that was going to be released from the album, kind of over and over again. And again, this is machine stamp sterling. He's got a little bit of money. Never seen one before. I thought somebody will want it. Somebody does. I'm actually trading that to somebody. So this is Premiata Forneria Marconi. I'm not quite sure. Premiata Forneria Marconi. So really good with the accents here. And this is the World Became the World. PFM. This record was owned by Lenny. Just in case anybody has any doubt who owned this. This was $2. I bought this because it's got the promo cut. It was owned by Lenny. Lenny's, you know, everybody knows Lenny, right? You know Lenny? So what's the story on Lenny? Well, Lenny was this guy who bought 2 of everything because he was OCD. He hung around with, I guess, everybody he thought he knew. Everybody he hung around with, I guess he thought was a thief, because he wrote his name like this on everything. And just in case that there wasn't enough, Lenny also wrote his name on the back, because you might have missed that. But ultimately, I only care about the record, not the covers. So, you know, that cover's in pretty good shape for me compared to my usual. This is an original pressing on Manicore. It's pretty clean. And unfortunately, Lenny spent money on Sharpies and not on a new needle for his turntable. So his records that are really clean that he took care of, that are first pressings, they are ground to shit. Also in the label, Lenny. So, thank you, Lenny. What can I say? This is a great record. This record was originally recorded in Italian with Italian vocals, and this was like a re-recording with English vocals for the North American market of this record, and it's fantastic. It's great. I will be looking for a cleaner, better copy. Lenny's didn't work for me. Next is this Mortal Coil. It'll End in Tears. This has the quintessential This Mortal Coil song on it, Song to the Siren. This is on 4AD. This is just a boring Canadian pressing. Nothing sexy there. This is a good record. I think this would appeal to others a lot more than it appeals to me. This Mortal Coil was like a rotating super group from the 4AD label, where many of the prominent artists, like the guy from Modern English and the vocalist from Cocteau Twins and Dead Can Dance, and different people, like, they rotated in and out of the band. So the songs are like all by different people with doing different things, and I know other people that would appeal to them immensely. I was hoping it would be more like Song to the Siren, which is a song I've known since it was released in the 80s. So I mean, it's an 8. It's just not a 10. And I know definitely for other people that this is a 10, but a nice, clean, near mint copy that's in perfect condition. How could I not buy that? And I'll definitely hold on to it. This is Jeff Recordman was talking about these Warner Brothers lost leaders recently. He's bought a few, and he showed the Looney Tunes like 3-disc one, and he showed some other 2-disc ones. This is the last, I think, 1-disc one that was made, and this is called Together. And it's got a bunch of bands on it. On it is Mary Travers, Doobie Brothers, Jackie Lomax, Stone Ground, Mother Earth, The Faces, Earth, Wind and Fire, John Baldry, Crazy Horse, Alice Cooper, and T-Rex. And this is an original pressing. You know, they didn't sell a hell of a lot of these, and they were dirt cheap. But this is an original green label Warner U.S. pressing with 1A stampers. Dead near mint. This was $2. There's some fantastic music on it. From my research, I believe this is the last of the single disc Warner Brother Warner Brother Lost Leaders, and it comes with the inner sleeve, the biggest bargains on record, the Warner reprised Lost Leaders, and it has some advertising for some other Lost Leaders on the back, including Zapped, the Frank Zappa one, which actually looks pretty cool. It'd be nice to pick that one up with, I believe it's people covering Frank Zappa songs, including Alice Cooper, Captain Beefheart, Tim Buckley, the Mothers of Invention, and Frank Zappa. So, or he compiled it. Maybe it's artists that were on the his Bizarre label, which was distributed by these people. So this was $2, and there's some great stuff on here. The Crazy Horse stuff is interesting. The T-Rex, almost everything on this is excellent. And I don't know, I find that cover image pretty striking too. So again, I can recommend that. This is a bit of a grail. Everybody's been out there hunting up this. This is Dorothy Ashby, Afro Harping, featuring Soul Vibration. This is on a LPS 809, as you can see. Sorry, this has the promo punch in it. On the back, it's got the tipped on back cover. And this is on Cadet. Sorry. This is on Cadet, blue label. This is original first pressing with 1A stampers. This is fantastic. I didn't want to buy a reissue of this record, and recently I found this original at a show for, it was 15, but I got it for 12. This record used to go for stupid money, in the hundreds. But as always happens, once a reissue comes out, it really plummets the value of an original. So you can actually pick up originals for between 30 and 40 bucks on eBay. So I still did really well paying like 12 bucks for this. It's in near mint condition. It's fantastic. Now the funny thing was, I mean, I bought this at a show, and I know most of the dealers at the show. I know the guy I bought it off of, or knew all the guys around him, and he was like, "What's that? I don't know what that is." And I'm like, and since they're all my friends, they always ask to see what I'm buying. And so at the end of the day, like 9 different dealers went through my bag and looked at all of the records I'd bought that day, and they were like, yeah, and they were like, what's that? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's just like jazz harp thing. And my one friend who owns a record store and he's a DJ, he went through my bag and he saw this and he pulled this out and he goes, "That is the win of the day," because he uses he has used this the sample, the famous sample from this that I don't know what the hell was in, but he was like, "Wow, you totally scored on that." He said that's an original too. So the funny thing is, somebody, I think Zeke, got the reissue and he was showing it to me on Skype the other day, and the reissue is identical to this. I mean, you could only tell by probably the thickness of the vinyl and the texture of the back cover and stuff, if you had an original or a repress. So there is like the exact same code numbers, the exact same information down here. It is just a copy from the beginning to the end. Now the second pressing of this isn't on the blue label Cadet. It's on like a yellowy label with like purple. So like the predominant color is like a yellow, and then there's like a circular outer band of like purple. So if you ever see that, you know that that's a second pressing, and that's still worth a bit of coin. So that's a total grail and a total fine, total steal. What are we at? 15 minutes? I'll do a few more. This one here is Bo Hanson's Magician's Hat. This is a U.S. pressing on Charisma. This is an Atlantic Charisma. I think later it was on like Passport Charisma. This is I don't know what to say about this record. It's when I was commenting about it on the Facebook page, and Derek's, it's good. It's got some moments on it that are like weak. Lord of the Rings is pretty damn strong the whole way through. I would say it has very few moments where it gets a little weak. This has some moments that are weak, yet it has some other moments that are almost stronger than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is more cohesive the whole way through. This is more scattered. It's not as focused. It's not as connected from beginning to end. And Derek, I think, mentioned that it was this is kind of called together of outtakes of stuff that wasn't used for Lord of the Rings, and I could clearly see why that this is probably exactly that. There's some great fusiony, jazzy kind of moments to this, and there's some proggy kind of moments to this. But this is definitely still totally worth having. And I got that for $4, so I can't really argue with that. Next is Coltrane Time. This I'm not quite sure what this is, but this appears to be some stuff, maybe possibly repackaged for United Artists Jazz. This is like another B or C list Coltrane album. They don't sell for a hell of a lot of money. I'm not quite sure what this is. This appears to be a U.S. press record in a jacket that was made in Canada. It says litho in Canada on the bottom there. Now it's got the deadwax for the US stereo. It's got the labels on it for the US mono. It's kind of all over the map. I'm not been 100% sure what the hell this actually is, but John Coltrane, Cecil Taylor, Kenny Dorham, Chuck Israels, and Lewis Hayes. Great players. Good songs, good performances, shifting down, just friends like someone in love, and double clutching. Just not stellar Coltrane, but I got this for $10, and this is a $10 Coltrane record all day. If you see this, this should not be expensive. So if you see it, try and grab it at a good price. And let's do one more, 18 minutes. Herbie Hancock, Sextant. This is a fucking monster of a record. I grabbed this because I grab a lot of things that are Herbie Hancock. I'm not always blown away by Herbie. He has some stuff that just, it's pretty B-list, and it doesn't always work for me. This is not B-list. This might be one of 3 or 4 things that he's done that are just masterpieces. And that's amazing to have 3 or 4 masterpieces in your career. This is an original Columbia. It's a little rough on one side, but surprisingly, it plays really clean, and this has 1A stampers on one side and 1D stampers on the other, so it's pretty early original. It's a C32212, so it's the first pressing of the record. I did not know quite what to expect from this record. Everybody calls this his bitch's brew, and actually I think that's a bit of an insult. It's kind of dismissive. This is fucking brilliant. This is great music, great fusiony jazz performances. Yeah, I can't listen to this record enough, and I can't recommend this record enough. This is, I think, of everything I've showed today except for Afro Harping, this is probably the winner of the day. So a little bit of jazz, a little bit of prog, some weird metal stuff, kind of all over the map as usual. And we're at 20 minutes, so I think I'm going to cut it short. I've got another 15 still to go, but I don't want to be here all day for you people. So that's everything, and have a great day and keep the record spinning.